This is Entering Tyngsborough, a podcast from the town of Tyngsborough on all things municipal government and the community. I'm Rony Camille. Thanks for joining us. Today on the podcast, we spoke with Barbara Roche, director of the newly renamed Center for Active Living, and two members from its board on what's happening at the center. Let's take a look. And this is Entering Tyngsborough. I'm Rony Camille. And today on the podcast, we have the lovely folks from the Center for Active Living, formerly Council on Aging. We have Barbara Roche, who's the director, and the new chair of the Center for Active Living, Rose Mitchell, and vice chair, Joanne Kalabokis.
Thank you.
Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
So let's just start first and foremost. All of you live in town.
Yes.
Correct.
I want to start with Barbara. How long have you lived in town, Barbara?
Over 20 years.
And what got you into the role at the center?
Well, I've been in this job for 14 years, but I started out volunteering for Meals on Wheels. And then when the former director was retiring, I applied for the job, and I've been here ever since.
Ever since. Got it. What exactly is your role as director of Council on Aging?
Well, our primary objective is to link needs with services. And that's what we do. So through all the things that we may talk about here is all the services that we provide. You know, if someone needs help with applications and somebody wants exercise programs, no matter what it is that we offer, I try to link it with what their needs are.
And then you put a little pizzazz with that by a little entertaining once
Yeah.
in a while.
Oh, yes.
We'll get into that some more. Joanne, how long have you been in town?
23 years, I think.
And you raised a family here?
I did.
And,
yes. It's terrible I have to say did, because they're older now.
And one of your family members also was involved in public service?
Yes, Katerina. Yes, she was.
The board?
Yep,
and
board.
What made you want to get involved with the center?
Retiring. I retired, and many of my friends were already members of the senior center, because that's what it was before, was senior center, and they convinced me to come over and see what the senior center had to offer, and I did, and I stayed. Yep.
And now you're involved, and
Now I'm involved.
And now you're here. You're representing the
Right.
department. And Rose, how long have you been in Tyngsborough?
35 years.
Wow. And you raised a family here?
Raised our four daughters here. Yes.
And also family members have also contributed to public service in town.
Yes.
Your husband.
Yes.
What made you decide to get involved with the Center for Active Living?
Center for Active Living. About 20 years ago, Kevin O'Connor approached me and asked me to be on the board.
A former select board member. Yep.
Yeah, he asked me to be on the board of the Council on Aging when they were looking for non-senior residents. So I did that for about 8 years. Then I had to go back to work. That was when my kids were very young. And then I retired, as Joanne did. I was looking to learn to play bridge. So I reached out to the senior center, and the activities director, Laura, there, she was collecting names of people interested in playing bridge. She reached out to me when they had a group ready to take bridge lessons. She organized it for us, and that's when I started attending the senior center as a newly retired person. And then in reading the newsletters, it looked like there were open positions. So I thought I'd put my name in the hat and get involved more deeply at the senior center or the Council on Aging.
Yeah. In addition to that, you're also served locally in the community with the Tyngsborough Scholarship Trust. Is that correct? We won't get into that. That's another podcast.
Whole nother board.
Podcast. Okay. So let me ask the three of you. So you guys are volunteer on the board. You're staff. What's your role on the board? And what's your role day to day? I mean, you run the department day to day, but what's the role on the board?
Go ahead, Rose.
As on the board of the Tyngsborough Council on Aging, we are our main purpose is to support Barbara and her programming. We do not direct Barbara. We are not her boss. We are a support and advisory council But part of our mission statement is also, as Barbara had mentioned, to identify the needs in the community and how can we work with Barbara to help develop or help supplement the needs of the community. What can we do? And we've done a few things over the past couple of years that we're very excited about. But that's basically our board, our mission in the board.
Sure. And one of those things have been from the name change, a brand
Yes.
name change from the Senior Center to the Center for Active Living. This is a big, significant shift. What led to this decision?
That's a great question, Rony. As we have attended the activities at the Senior Center, at the now Center for Active Living, we just really were amazed at all the program that was there. And then speaking to newly retired or seniors in our 60s, asking if they had been to the Senior Center, either in Tyngsborough or in their own community, the response was, "No, I'm not that old. I don't want to play cards.
I'm not ready
I'm
for
not
that yet."
ready for that." Exactly.
Yep.
And that just struck me that, well, I wonder why that is, and what can we do? We discussed it for months at our Council on Aging meeting. What can we do to change the perception and attract seniors that might not, that have that perception that it's just playing bingo and playing cards,
Right.
when there's so much more than that.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. And when I spoke to others at events that we went to, the first thing was change the name. That was the first idea that they would come up with. So it wasn't really just the board that came up with that. It was also the community that came up with that.
And so, how does the new name reflect the mission and the offerings?
Well, I just think it kind of changes more of the perceptive, because the offerings and the programs and services that we provide really haven't changed. We're trying to add more to try to attract new people, but people see the word senior center and it's like, oh, I don't want to go there. So active living means that they go and do activities or exercise classes. There's all kinds of things available every day.
Sure. And the name change happened in October of 2024.
August.
August.
And so, have you noticed any changes in participation or engagement since the name change of the brand?
I haven't noticed. I really haven't looked. We're going to do the rollout in a new sign in June when we have our 10th anniversary of the building.
And in March, we have the bingo after
After hours.
So we're trying to expand and bring in programs. Night bingo. We'll see how many people come. And that will be, I think, a indication of whether the word has gotten out. People are interested in attending. We shall see.
Well, let's talk about some of the programming that you guys and services. What are some of the most popular programs or services available at the
Bingo. Exercise programs and free food. Those are the most popular.
And is that the Meals on Wheels program?
No,
So that's a separate program.
Separate program. Because we get things that people that sponsor for a meal. We do Friday lunches, which is not free. It's like $3, but
Sure.
we get free breakfasts once a month, which will start in April. But we're going to have an early one in March for another reason. But just things like that will bring them in.
The poker is very
my
popular
gosh,
too.
yes,
The
it
Texas
is.
Hold'em poker
Yes.
Thursday at noon.
They're
That's
very vocal.
very popular.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's a very
And Barbara, you have a coordinator that kind of does the programming. I've gone in there before where they've done various activities, where they've done the traveling stuff. Can you kind of shed more light to that?
Yeah, she
Laura.
does Laura Roy is our program coordinator, and she offers also like some craft things once a month, different things. Like this month, it's those little pots that you're going to turn into a leprechaun. So it's cute, different things every month to get people out and get their their imagination and things going. She will run, if we have a program without a speaker, she will run something based on what the program is. You know, like Chinese New Year, she put up videos and would display them on the beautiful new system that we have in the dining room.
You're
On
welcome.
the yes, on the three TVs, you know, just stuff about Chinese New Year or whatever other programs that we have. That
Right.
if there's not a speaker or if there's not entertainment, Laura takes care of that too.
So, and you also have a bunch of wellness programs, Zumba, Bone Builders, Holistic Health Sessions. And I've noticed you guys also do outdoor. You guys have gone on excursions as well.
Hikes.
You know, hikes
Yes.
on your Facebook group page. How are these activities benefiting, you know, the people that are coming into the center?
But they're getting out.
Y-
You know, like a lot of people just stay shut in. They
Right.
should get out, meet new people, get involved, have some fun, and some things. You know, people that live alone, and sometimes, you know, if their spouse has passed or what, and they just. Some people come into the center every single day just to have a cup of coffee and to talk to people.
Yeah.
And then they leave, even if they don't do any activities.
Sure.
Every single day. But
Socialization.
yep, every single day. There are a couple of people that come every single day.
Right.
So it's a good place to go and hang out. The people are friendly. We're lovely there.
And you don't have to be a resident of Tyngsborough.
No,
No.
Correct. That's correct.
And there's no membership fee.
no membership fee. And we probably get about 30% out of towners that come to the center.
Yeah, based upon the activity that is provided. Yeah, I just wanted to just highlight that what Barbara had said about the importance of the active living, and it's the physical activity is important, the mental engagement is important, but that social piece, like Barbara said, is just so critical for well-being, whether it's playing a game of canasta or Zumba or going on a hike
Right.
in the woods, just connecting with peers and just having that social connection is so critical.
Do you guys offer any educational workshops or like technology assistance to help seniors stay connected?
Once a month, we have Dean Latito comes in once a month and volunteers. And if people have, you know, they got a new phone or they got a new iPad or laptop or whatever.
I've been
And-
roped in
Yep.
with
So
the
he
printer
can,
issue.
yeah, so he can, you know, help set things up on their phones, transfer data, you know, just get them caught up.
That's great. Transportation is an issue, key issue with many older residents. How does the center assist with mobility issues and access to services for residents?
Well, we have 2 buses. They run like 40 hours a week. And we take them to doctor's appointments, shopping, whether it's food shopping or Walmart or whatever. We'll bring them to the post office or the bank, you know, those things, and social events. A lot of them take the bus to come to the center. We had a couple of people came to play cribbage this morning on the bus. So, and then there'll be several that come for bingo this afternoon. So, and the, you know, medical is always a priority on the medical days. So, and right now, all the rides are free. We only go to surrounding towns, like we don't go to Leahy, we don't go to Boston. But there are other communities that do have dedicated buses, that larger communities, that we can bring them there, and then they can get the bus to Leahy or Boston.
And then you'll pick them
Yep.
them back up when they return.
Yes.
How has the center impacted Tyngsborough? You've been there the longest.
I think it's a great environment for people that, you know, that are lonely. For one thing, like I said, there's a lot of people at the elderly housing that live alone. The majority of them live by themselves, and it's an opportunity for them to get out and do things. Occasionally, we'll have like even a trip. You know, like they went to Parker's Maple Barn last fall, or, you know, and they'll fill the bus with 10, 12 people, and people from the housing like to go. That they're homebound, And having the buses to take them places too is a great thing. But being able to come to the center, and even if it's, like I said, coffee, or if you're coming to, learn how to play the drums, because they were doing that this morning. And
Really? Like a whole drum set?
oh no, just a pad, but learning the basics of certain things. There's a book club. There's we offer puzzles and books and all kinds of things that are free. There's just a lot of things that are available that, people aren't fully aware of. Like, oh, what about this? I'm like, yeah, just come in. Mm-hmm. Come on in. We'll give you a tour. We'll show you what we're doing. We'll give you a newsletter. And, we'll go from there.
And I want to kind of backtrack. I saw, you coordinate the Meals on Wheels program, and it's, I've been there, and it's quite an operation. When the truck comes in, the stuff comes in, and I forgot her name. Is it Lucille? Rayanne. So she hopefully she doesn't watch this. When Rayanne comes in and she coordinates that kitchen, and it's like,
oh yes,
make sure you stay out of her way, and it's like well-rounded machine. Talk to me about Meals on Wheels and food assistance programs that are available for residents.
So the Meals on Wheels program is, every day, Monday through Friday. The meals come in through age span, and that they're delivered. And then we have 3 different routes that come out of the center. We have 2 routes, one on the east side of the river, one on the west side of the river, and then Dunstable comes out of ours. So they'll go out, so they just coordinate, because each meal is also labeled, whether it's a cardiac, whether it's a low, like a diabetic, or, they even have ethnic foods, just to say, like, because they'll do Asian, or I know in Lawrence there's a lot of the Spanish. So there's a variety that they can order. They can order cold suppers. They can order weekend meals that we deliver during the week. There's also the brown bag program, which was today, and we pick up a bunch of bags that are provided from the Boston Food Bank. And they usually will have, like, I think today they had, like, cereal. They usually have, like, cereals and soup, some staples. Occasionally, sometimes they'll have meat. I guess today they had tilapia, which was frozen. And they had avocados and onions. So you never know what you're going to get, but there's usually a variety of shelf stable. I can't say that right. and then occasionally there's some frozen stuff. So, because like in the summertime, sometimes they do corn. They'll get corn from the local farms, and every person on that list will get a couple of ears of corn. So, and then we have a little pantry that we keep, a little bit stocked. We stock it up in the fall for at Thanksgiving and Christmas. We deliver food bags to about 25 to 30 homes in Tyngsborough. That'll have everything from, like, pasta, bread, butter, soups, a gift card for Market Basket so they could buy their meal, their meat. And we do it like a week before Thanksgiving and a week or so before Christmas. And other times, if there's somebody that comes in and they need food, we'll just make up a bag of food. We'll go back into the pantry and say, all right, what do we have? Mm-hmm. What do you want?
Sure.
And I mean, we just want to be able to provide if people need help. We want you to come in and ask for it.
Yeah, for sure. And you have outside groups or even other departments help. Can you talk more about that? I mean, you have a department in town that frequently collaborates with you guys. Can you mention them?
Which one? All of them.
Go ahead. List them out.
Well, we work with the police and the fire department because the fire department comes monthly education programs. Actually, we need to start scheduling them for the remainder of the year. And the police department would also do education programs.
You're still running the yellow dot, right?
Yes, we have a yellow dot. Not many people have signed up for it, so it's going to have to be reinvigorated again because it's been 10 years.
Yeah, and the File of Life.
And we always have the File of Life. And, well, the fire department will talk about the File of Life.
What is it?
Well, the File of Life is a packet. Oh, I have one in my car. that you put on the refrigerators. So if the first responders come to your house and you're not alert or capable, it can list all your medications, your doctors, your next of kin. So, you just put it on the refrigerator. It's got a magnet on the back of it, and you just keep it updated. And, all your meds, so things like that. So they'll know, like, oh, yeah, well, she's on a blood pressure medicine, or he's on something for his heart. And, even if, I think they list if you have a pacemaker or different things like that so that the first responders have something. That's one of the first things they look for when they go on a call, is to see if the person has a file of life. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're on meds, if you're on any medication, you should have one, regardless of age, just so that they know, because you'd never know. And the yellow dot program that we had rolled out would put a yellow dot in the back of your car window, and that would let the first responders, if your car was on the side of the road and you're in it, let them know that you have a file of life in your glove box. So once again, they wouldn't have to go through your private things. They could go in your glove box, get out your file of life, and say, "Oh, all right. There's the, contact information, medicines, and stuff like that." So, we're going to have to. Maybe we'll reinvigorate that when we do our 10th anniversary.
There you go.
Great
That's
idea.
an idea.
Yeah, great
So-
idea.
How can residents in town get involved, whether as participants, volunteers, supporters?
Come on by.
Right. Just come over.
Stop
and
in.
see what we offer.
Yeah, we'll give tours, talk to them, because there's always we have greeters there usually every day between 9 and 3. They're all volunteers, and they would give a tour and tell them what's going on, pick up a newsletter.
Yep.
Come on by.
What Barbara puts in the newsletter every month is, if there's an activity that's not on our activity list, give us a call, mention it to one of the staff. And that's how I got involved. I really wanted to learn bridge. And and just a plug from my mother-in-law, who goes in and plays canasta. She said, if you have any interest in learning a new game, learning canasta, learning bridge.
What exactly is
Oh,
canasta?
it's so fun. It is so
What is
fun.
it?
Now, how old is Graham?
She's almost 95.
95. She taught a group of us canasta.
To
What
play
is it,
canasta. It's a card game with many, many decks that you have to build different books, and
Right.
it's super fun to play.
Like
and
a regular stack
easy.
of cards, like,
Yeah, you can stop by the Center for Active Living on Thursdays at 1:00.
We'll have to do a
and you
video.
will get a lesson
I'll
on.
put Mr. Calabokas George, one of our producers,
go.
on that.
But there's many different. Some centers offer like 4 different versions of canasta, and if you don't want to play regular canasta and want to play hand and foot canasta, give the center a call and say, I would love that, and Laura will work with Barbara and figure it out. And so that's what we really encourage people to stop by, get a tour, bring your ideas, and just to enhance participation.
What message, and I'm asked the 3 of you, what message do you have for somebody that is your age or older who may be hesitant to join or get involved? Who may be, whether they're homebound or they have a transportation issue or just pride. What sort of message do you have for them, whether they are listening to this podcast or watching it on local cable?
My message is to, as Joanne and Barbara both said, stop in and say hello. If you know somebody who goes, say, can I tag along with you one day and see what you do and see what activities there are. That would be my recommendation. It's a welcoming place, and there's a lot of activities to enjoy.
And you spent how many years working? Your work life could end right here, and then your retirement life, which should be a fun time in your life and doing things you want to do, go to the senior center. That's like an extension to your work life, is your I'm going to call it the fun life. You can get up and do whatever you want. Go to the senior center, take those hikes, make your life interesting instead of sitting home and being bored, because it happens to lots of us.
I just say, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, there you go.
There's so many opportunities, learning opportunities, fun opportunities, entertainment opportunities. What are you waiting for?
What's on tap for, we're taping this in February. What's on tap for the next few months coming ahead?
Well, we have St. Patrick's Day next month. We're doing a party on, actually a week from Friday, the 7th. We'll be doing a volunteer appreciation in April, so there's a good reason to volunteer. Because if you do 40 hours a year, you get a prime rib dinner.
Ooh.
So,
nice.
and we always have, we'll have a Mother's Day program. We have Steve Sweeney coming in, the comedian,
Nice.
for the Mother's Day program.
Wonderful.
So, we have barbecues coming in the summer. We have the breakfasts starting up. And we still have the regular, all the exercise programs and the games. And they do Wii bowling and bingo and all the card games. And, you can just have a cup of coffee and go. Yeah, just work on a puzzle. Grab a book. There's so many things you can do.
Yeah.
Another thing coming up is March 25th. As we had mentioned,
26.
oops, sorry,
That's all
March
right.
26th.
Right.
As we had mentioned earlier, one of the things that the Council on Aging is tasked with is identifying the need. And there is that need of the 60-plus residents who are still working and can't get to the center
Right.
between 9 and 3 or 9 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the launch things is to do an evening bingo activity, and that's coming up on March 26th.
26. We're looking at trivia. We're looking at paint night. It's baby steps right now. We're doing it one step
Sure.
at a time. And then informational as well. You have Medicare informational coming up. There's going to be a estate planning information.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. Yeah.
So, and those are on the evening. So if the I hate to say younger seniors, but if the non-retired seniors want to attend an informational like this, they will also see what goes on.
Exactly.
Yeah, so-
Exactly. Get
yeah.
their foot in the door and just to see.
Right.
The other new initiative that we talked about at our last Council on Aging board meeting was a new subcommittee that one of our board members has joined with the Commission on Disabilities to start a dementia-friendly community. And the first activity in working with some committees outside of Tyngsborough is to start a memory cafe, which will be in June, on June 4th, which will invite those who caretakers of those who struggle with their memory, as well as patients who might have memory issues. And other communities do that, and this is a launch activity for this memory cafe.
Right.
So we're really looking forward to that. It should be a nice way to support the needs in that section of our community.
Anything else you guys want to add before we sign off? Barbara Roach, Joanne Kalabokis, and Rose Mitchell with the Center for Active Living in Tyngsborough. You can find more about them on the town's website at tyngsborough.gov. And what is the address?
169 Westford Road.
What's the phone number?
978-649-9211.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in today.
All right, thank you, Rony.
Thank you.